You've been told that making money is hard, that it requires constant struggle, sacrifice, and hustle to be successful and wealthy. But what if I told you that attracting money, it's so simple that most people are doing it wrong? Because right now you are in a field of infinite abundance that responds not to your force, but to your vibration. Yet most people approach money as if it was a fight. They're doing wealth affirmations while they're doubting themselves. They're visualizing a different bank account while they're feeling lack and scarcity in their body. And this is where the entire system collapses. Because the truth is that money is pure energy, and energy does not respond to force but to frequency. And until you understand that wealth will flow only to those who have the right frequency, you will keep repelling it from your reality. And today, we're going to learn how you can attune yourself to the frequency of wealth. And it's all hidden in this single verse. Let's break it down. There's 2 steps. Step number 1 of this law is learning how to ask in the name of God. Remember that this scripture is not something you want to read as a little meaning, but as something that happens within your own consciousness. So if you learn how to ask God for riches, then He will give you the riches and the wealth in your reality. But how do we do that? Because most people fail here. They believe that asking is done through words, prayers, or affirmations, yet millions of people around the world do not receive what they are praying for. It's because asking in the name of God is not done through words, but through feeling. And to feel yourself to be a thing is to have asked for that thing in His name. To feel yourself to be rich is to ask for wealth in His name. You see how that works? And so to feel yourself to be anything is to ask the nameless God, I am, the unconditioned awareness that lives within you, to express that name or nature in your reality. The $1,000,000 question here is, what are you broadcasting into the world when no one is watching? What is your default feeling? Because the feeling determines the frequency, and the frequency determines what you're bringing into reality. So this is the importance of feeling. Okay, remember that whatever you're feeling, you're asking for that in the name of God. And God and the law are impartial. So if you're feeling yourself to be lacking, even when you have an abundance outside, an amazing bank account, the law will be executed, and that wealth and that richness will be taken away from you. But if you feel yourself to be rich even before you are, the law will be executed, and step number 2 will be done, and you will receive that into your reality. That's what we have here, Matthew 13:14. I freaking love this so much. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken away from them. This is how the law and the mechanism works. So if you want to attract wealth effortlessly, if you want to attract money effortlessly, just the same way that you breathe in and out, then you must execute and live by this law, which means that we can ask anything. Look at this promise as it feels natural for you to be rich and to expect riches and opportunities and wealth flowing to you. That natural expectation, that feeling, and that frequency is what attracts to you and reveals in your reality that. That's why really, really rich people are always attracting more and more opportunities. It's not that they're bad or good, it's just that they've understood that it's natural for them to feel worthy and deserving of receiving more riches, because that's the identity and the feeling that they're broadcasting into the world. You must understand that this law is impartial, and it's a matter of you living and executing the law. Let me show you how it really works, because my guess is you are probably living in this old paradigm of money, which creates a low frequency, and a low frequency creates a low feeling. And with a low feeling, I keep attracting to my life opportunities with lack, with scarcity, and with survival, because I'm telling God through my feeling that I'm still not abundant. Therefore, I don't receive abundance because I don't have it. And even that which I have gets taken away from me. Let's go over a few beliefs that I've discovered along my own journey and along hundreds of clients that I work with when we are mapping their entire roadmap or blueprint of what they believe to be true in their reality. Now, this is one of the ones guilty as charged. Chase money, thinking that you always need to be doing, because if you're not going to be productive. And if you're not being productive, then you don't see yourself worthy to receive money. This was my main parasite. I call these energetic parasites that was keeping me stuck in the old world and in my old reality. I thought that I always needed to be doing something, because if I wasn't being productive, I wasn't proving my worth. And if I wasn't proving my worth, I would not allow myself to receive large sums of money, and my nervous system would feel unsafe to receive this money. Another one that I had also personally, I need to work hard to feel worthy to receive money. Think about this for your own life right now. Imagine if you just get a paycheck, you win the lottery, or you have a huge, maybe an inheritance, 300, 500 grand. And I want you to notice what comes up for you in your body, in your nervous system, in your feeling. Does it feel natural for you to receive that? Do you feel like you are aligned with that frequency? If it's yes, amazing. If it's no, it's still amazing, because we're uncovering the shadow that needs to be brought into the light. And this is what you need to discipline yourself to start feeling yourself to be rich, so you can ask God to bring that into your reality. These are rules that are hidden within our subconscious mind. This is what I've discovered. Okay, so hard work equals worthiness. Worthiness equals the amount, the ceiling that I allow myself to receive. Another one that's so huge for entrepreneurs as well, and for myself, I need to pay the price before I can receive money. I need to struggle before I can receive money. And so for me, in my personal journey, I lived so much under this belief that I basically created situation, places, and things where I would have to struggle a lot to make that money, to make that client, to work hard again. And I needed to pay the price before I could receive or make money. That is a low frequency that is based on falsehood. But because the source of life, the source of all my manifestations lives within me, then that's what I was creating. As within, so without. Money is something that is earned. Instead of money is something that I deserve because of my being. The more I do, the more I earn. This one is huge. This means that you're always tying what you're doing to what you earn. Productivity equals worth. Worth equals how much I allow myself to have. It is not safe to receive large sums of money without working hard to get them. The source of money or wealth is somewhere outside of me. For as long as you believe that the source of money and wealth is outside of you, you will keep broadcasting the frequency of lack, and you will keep repelling all the wealth and the money in the universe. Because this entire journey is a journey of self-realization to see if you can realize and accept that the source of all the money and wealth that you desire is not out there in the world. It's not in your business. It's not in your clients. It's not on the economy. It's not in the government. It's nowhere to be found outside. But if you are ready to stop being a seeker and start being a finder, then you will understand why Jesus said that the kingdom of God is within you, because that's the source. The source of all the wealth and abundance and opulence lives already within yourself. And when you have struggled enough in this old paradigm of money that I've lived for more than 10, 15 years, when you've had enough and you're pushed against a wall, when you keep manifesting and repeating the same patterns of lack and survival, and you're like, what the freak is going on? Why do I keep creating these opportunities where I lose the money, where I lose the client, where they don't resign, where I can't break through this income ceiling? It's because you're still seeing yourself as someone who is lacking, as someone who's still living in survival. And that's fine until a certain point. That's fine until you realize that nothing from your past nothing from your ancestors, nothing from your past lives. No thing has power over you except the power that you give it. And when you're ready to put your faith and your belief back to yourself, back to God within you, then you become the walking master that you know you are. And as you do that, instantly you start shattering these blockages, these limitations, these revelations that were hidden within you. And you start to understand that the source of all the abundance lives within you. And that revelation can bring you millions and millions of dollars in your business, in your career, and in your bank account. And everything around you is simply waiting for you to have that realization. Let me show you the deeper mechanism of how to attract wealth and money as easy as breathing. Think about this analogy. Imagine that you're a hot air balloon. You can see it here. It's pretty cool. Okay? You are a hot air balloon that's trying to go higher into heaven. You're trying to take off from earth because on earth you have problems. On earth there is lack. On earth you see this number in your bank account that you want it to be bigger. Or maybe you have already a lot of money but you still feel lack. That's still a low frequency that's bound to earth. And so this hot air balloon has a lot of weights that are bringing you down, and you're trying to go higher into a higher frequency. You're trying to rise to a higher frequency to the level where your reality obeys your consciousness. Because when you ask God by feeling yourself to be wealthy and rich, there's a point where if you feel that with such intensity, you reach such a high frequency that reality will literally obey you. But you can't reach that point before you take off these weights that are holding back the hot air balloon. How do we do this? You need to stop placing your attention on those things. You need to stop remembering the past because the past already happened, and I want you to focus on the limitless potential that you have in the present moment. Stop serving the false master. Stop serving this old past that you think you are. Because for as long as you believe to be this past version, this version of yourself that struggles with money, that struggles to be rich, that struggles to be wealthy, then you are binding yourself in self-imposed limitations because you still haven't understood that heaven is within you and you can access it through feeling, through frequency. So drop the weights, stop placing your attention on the problem, and put all your energy, all your focus, all your life force in what you want to manifest. And start to say and feel the name of the nameless within you. I am. Say that with feeling. It's all about the feeling. I am. You start to shift and go higher. You stop to drop the weights of your current reality, of your current problems. And you close your eyes and you shut the door to your senses. And you go into your inner temple and feel and say, I am, again and again and again until your frequency is higher and you're starting to go into heaven. And as you go into heaven, within the privacy of your own mind and body, you start to feel yourself to be the richest. Feel it again and again and again with intensity. And rejoice, feel the joy of that reality that is being born within yourself. Intensified with feeling until the joy gets felt all around your cells and your nervous systems, and you're reprogramming yourself at the highest level. And as you do that, you are asking in the name of God, the wealth and the riches that you desire. And this is where you really start to change and merge with this new consciousness. Because as you feel yourself to be rich, you're also allowing it to be natural. For riches and wealth to be natural. For you to be an invincible magnet of attraction to these riches. And then there will be the low frequency again, the old weights that were pulling you down. They will try to remind you of your reality. They will try to tell you, JP, David, Amy, remember who you are. Remember all these problems. Remember them. And that's where you need to discipline yourself and redirect your attention again into heaven, again into what you desire. And in this point, you need to fully accept this. This is the foundation if you want to be the master that you already are. Your consciousness is the only thing that's creating your reality. If you change the frequency, you change the reality, but you need to take persistent conscious action. You can't do this for 1, 2, or 3 days or a week and then forget about it all the next day or the next week. That's what your mind and your ego will want you to do. They want you to just consume the information, feel amazing right now, feel motivation, but then you go back to square one. And I'm not here to just give you information that's inspiring. I'm here to transmit a truth that you already know at such a deep level that you get empowered to take action and awaken the master within yourself. And so, speaking about money and shifting reality into abundance, for those of you who are ready to go to the next level, here's the 2 ways that I can empower you. If you've identified certain money blocks, you understand that they're really difficult to clear. Even after you've done a lot of therapy modalities, they feel like they're really deep-seated. This was the problem that I found in my own journey. And I'm a civil engineer as well. And I had to go out there, read a lot of books, implement a lot of modalities, and I had to create my own modality that I called transcendence healing. And with transcendence healing, I was able to start clearing from the root cause these deep-seated conditionings and programmings around money that were not only stuck in my thoughts, I found that they were stuck in my nervous system, in my energetic field, and that's why they felt like they were impossible to clear. So I started clearing systematically from all of these layers, my money blocks, the thoughts that I had about limitations and lack and scarcity, because I actually grew up in a very emotionally unstable and financially unstable house. And so this was all me. And what I've done with this 30-day challenge is I've recorded my own proprietary subconscious clearing sessions. They're not visualizations, they're not meditations you find on YouTube. They systematically clear, and you can prove the before and after this session for 30 days, 10 minutes a day, simple but transcendent sessions that will systematically clear from your emotions, your thoughts, your physical body, and your subconscious mind these deep-seated money blocks, so that shifting your reality into wealth becomes easier. Because what I found in my journey is that for a long time, I knew that I was abundant. I knew in my mind that wealth was my birthright, that I had the power to shift my reality. But what I didn't address was all of the impurities, all of the limiting beliefs, all of the deep-seated programming that I had inherited, that I had taken from society. And this is something for you only if you want to expedite the process. I've created it super systematic, day-by-day checklist, easy to implement. You won't even recognize yourself in 30 days in a good way, because you are going to release so many decades and lifetimes of these money blocks that you're going to be thinking and firing and wiring your neural pathways and your frequency in a completely different way. And I love this because what this allows you to do, which I cannot transmit to you through YouTube, is that you stop fighting, your subconscious stops fighting the reality and the frequency that you want to create. It just makes the entire process easier. So if that's you, if you want that guidance, that structure, and that accountability, this challenge is definitely for you. The link is below, and sign up, and you're going to have the best freaking time, and you can send me an email and keep me posted with your progress. I'm very, very excited for you to try that. And this is a technology that I've developed over 8 years with blood, sweat, and tears. And it's just like stepping into a private jet to your destination, getting faster, easier, at an amazing price as well. That's really, really as affordable as I could have made it, while at the same time keeping you accountable and invested in the transformation. So it's going to be linked in the description. It's going to give you the perfect system. And if you're someone that's more of a high-level entrepreneur or coach, and you're wanting to do this work together, if you want me to give you the personal guidance, mentorship, and the systems and identifying the money blocks that you have in your business as well. If you're wanting to scale your business from consciousness instead of force, and you want to find greater peace and purpose along the way, then this is for you. This is a very intimate container that I'm very mindful of who comes into it. But if you are already having an amazing business, if you're already successful, if you are already have a proven methodology and you just want to take it to the next level to scale your income and your impact, then this is for you. Because just like a surgeon, we're going to precisely discover your blueprint, the blocks that you have in your consciousness. I'm not going to be here to save you or heal you. I'm going to give you everything to empower you to be your own leader. And you're going to grow so much as a leader for your company, your clients, your employees. It's one of my highest forms of joy that I could ever imagine. So if that's you, we can talk about it. There's a link below where you can learn more and book a True Self Roadmap call with me. And that way we're going to identify all of the blockages to manifesting more clients, breaking income ceilings, and all of that amazing stuff. Thank you so much for your time. And remember that you now have the blueprint, okay? All in I've gone today so that you have this blueprint to raise your frequency to the level where reality obeys your consciousness and where reality obeys the riches that you can claim yourself to be now, and you do not have to wait. So prove the law for yourself, develop unwavering faith and commitment to yourself and the law. Because until you prove it to yourself, nothing will matter. I speak with trust and confidence and execution because I've proven the law in my own life. And that's the part where you cannot outsource it. So go for it, and I'll see you on the next one.